joined by Jon Guthrie. Jon, thanks a lot for coming on. How are you doing?
Yeah, no, I'm all good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, very good. I just want to start off by asking you what your early football memories are.
Yeah, so I was always just played non-league football, just like my local village team, which I loved doing. It was unreal, to be fair. It was class. Did that up until I was about right from when I was a kid till I was about 19. So yeah, I was literally just playing with my mates every weekend. Was loving it. And then yeah, just got a lucky break really. Got offered a chance to go up to Crewe, and it sort of went from there. But being a footballer wasn't something I'd ever thought of doing or planned on doing really. It was more just just like I said, a hobby, just to kick about with my mates really.
Do you think being part of non-league instead of like pro youth academies, do you think that benefited you long term?
I think so, yeah. Because I think, when you come up for academy, it's all you know. Obviously, I've seen the other side of it. I was working. I was stacking shelves at Waitrose till I was 20. So I've seen the other side of it. So, and I think some footballers might take it for granted a bit because, like I said, it's all they've been used to. So it's all they've expected to do. Whereas it wasn't something I ever expected to happen. So, I don't take any of it for granted. And that sort of led me in a good way for the rest of my career, I think.
And how did you end up getting the opportunity to sign for Crewe?
It really random, to be fair. I was just playing. I remember it was a Tuesday night game, and a Crewe scout happened. No idea what he's doing now because it's about 2.5 hours away from Crewe. He happened to wasn't coming to watch me. Wasn't coming to watch the team I was playing for. Just happened to be in the area. So he came to one of my games, played the game, and then my manager, the club, Husey Vale, he pulled me after the game and said, there was a Crewe scout here tonight. And I didn't think anything on it. He was like, he thought you were quite good. So I was like, oh, nice. Didn't think anything of it. And then a couple of days passed and I've got a call off the scout, saying, do you want to come up to Crewe and have a trial? So obviously I was like, yeah, I wasn't doing anything. Like I said, I was just working at Waitrose, playing with my mates. So I thought, yeah, obviously I'll give it a go. So I went up there. It's completely different to anything I'd known before. I ended up being up there for I think it ended up being about 7-8 weeks, just training, playing in reserve games and all that. And then, yeah, they offered me a deal at the end of it. So it was all worth it in the end.
Was that a relief to get out of Waitrose?
Oh, no, I can't say that. I loved my time there. I'll be back there soon, so I can't slag him off too much. But no, it was obviously doing what I was doing. I didn't really know what I was going to do going forward. So when an opportunity like that came up, it was a bit of a no-brainer.
And what's your best memories of your debut for Crewe? Well,
so my debut, I came on for about 30 seconds at right wing, didn't touch the ball.
Right wing?
Yeah, exactly, right wing. He was like, the left back was bombing and also, and he's like, just track him. I was like, oh, anything could happen here. But luckily I didn't touch the ball. And then my first start was Bournemouth in the league, which was a bit of a tricky one. They were flying at the time. I think they were in a top 2 or whatever. Played left back. Did all right, to be fair. The gaffer was messed up for a goal, so I didn't do too well, to be honest. Messed up for a goal. We lost. I think it was 3-1 in the end, but they were flying out at the time. We weren't really expected to get anything from the game, but I think that. And then it took me I sort of played that game. Didn't play the next. I can't really remember how long it was. I didn't play for a while after that. I can't remember when I sort of got a proper run in the team. It was quite a while after that, to be fair.
And fast forward a few years after your time at Crewe, come up to Scotland to join Livingston. What made you want to come up here?
Just a change of scenery more than anything. I'd come off the back of a tough couple of years at Walsall. We'd just been relegated. Hadn't done very well. So just wanted a new experience really. Obviously, I knew Nicky Devlin really well because we were at Walsall together and we were really close off the pitch. So I was talking to him over the summer, and some of the other offers I had didn't really excite me as much as going up there did. So it was mainly just trying something new. I think in football it can get a bit stale. You're doing playing the same teams, playing against the same players. So just the opportunity to try something different was the main point for me.
I want to ask you about this, okay? Because a lot of the time if Livy sign a player from down south now, we use you as an example, I think, in the fact that when you first joined, that sounds terrible, right? But you got absolutely slaughtered.
Oh, I did, yeah. It was funny when I signed. I stayed with Nicky for like the first couple of weeks, got nowhere to live. And the night I signed, we were on Twitter just reading all the mess. I was getting absolutely battered.
But it was bad. It was horrendous. It was.
Yeah.
So how difficult for you is that to see? Does it bother you or?
Not really. I mean, obviously you'd rather they didn't, but to be like, I sort of expected it. Like I said, we'd just been relegated. I hadn't had the best of years. Don't take. Obviously, fans have got their opinions, but you've got to take it with a pinch of salt, especially some of them. So yeah, obviously it wasn't ideal, but I didn't take it to heart too much. I guess it's part and parcel of football. Some fans aren't going to like you. I've been at clubs where they have, I've been at clubs where they haven't. So it's part and parcel of the game, I guess.
I think we all use it as an example now when we sign someone to England and they're getting absolutely slaughtered, and everyone's just like, we'll just see, we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
It ended up being one of the best signings since probably we came back up.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's the thing. I think players sometimes just click with a club as well.
Yeah.
When I had to Livy, it just seemed to work straight away. Felt really welcome straight away, and it just happens for you clubs, I guess.
And I want to ask you about this as well. Obviously, we all know what Davey's like up here, but when he's first signing you, what's your first conversation and what's your first encounter of him?
Well, I was just trying to understand him. It was a phone call, and I remember. And Nicky had told me like a little bit about Gaffer Hoyt time and Davey. Didn't go into too much detail about Davey, and then so I sort of went in a bit of an unknown. Then when I've gone up there, yeah, it was interesting first couple of days. I'd never really played under someone like that before. You know, passionate, really loud in your face. So yeah, it was an experience. Those first couple of weeks, definitely.
What's he like as a coach as well? Because I don't
Really?
think he probably gets the credit for how good he is tactically as well.
Yeah, no, exactly. He's really hands-on, really passionate. You know, cares so much for the club, and like you said, you know, he does little tweaks in it. Sometimes even as players, you're thinking, God, where's he got this from? But you know, 9 times out of 10, he seems to always get it right. So you know, like you said, he probably doesn't get enough credit for that. I think Livy, in general, probably don't get enough credit for what they do. They get, you know, that title, the pitch and everything, how they played. But, you know, yeah, like I said, Davey's always coming up with new ideas. They always seem to work. So, yeah, no, he was brilliant with me, Davey. You know, from the minute I was there, he made me feel really welcome. So, yeah, I haven't got a bad word to say against him, really. And obviously, it was working on the pitch, so there was nothing to complain about either.
And well, in terms of the comparisons between England, lower leagues and Scottish Premiership, what did you notice were the main differences coming up here?
I think the Scottish game, it's a lot quicker. It's constant. Like you haven't got a second to just relax and switch off. It's constant. It's end to end. Like I said, you can't switch off at all. Whereas down here, not all games. Some games like that, but some games, you know, are a bit slower. Maybe you could say maybe a bit more tactical, but maybe that's just how the game goes. But I'd say up there, it's relentless from the first minute to the end. It's just non-stop, very full on, very physical. But it's something I really enjoyed.
Was that a bit surreal going to Parkhead and Ibrox and stuff?
Yeah. No, to be fair, that was a massive pull of wanting me to come up as well. You know, it's when you play League 2 and League 1 down here, you're not experiencing any games anywhere near that sort of level. So you know the thoughts of going up there. Obviously, I knew a few lads who'd been up to Scotland earlier on in their careers as well, and spoke to them, and they all spoke of it really highly. So you know, experiencing those sort of games is sort of once in a lifetime. And like I said, you don't get games like that down in League 1 and 2. So it's something that, you know, will definitely stay with me for the rest of my career playing in those sort of games.
You turned into a bit of a goal scoring centre half up here. Where did that come from? The right wing days?
I've no idea, because until I came to Livy, I was so bad in front of goal. Like I don't know how many career. I must have had 3 or 4 career goals, and I was getting chances. To be fair, I've always gotten chances, but I was rubbish. Like just kept the amount. You have to ask Nicky about it. When I was at Wolves, I used to miss so many chances. He used to lose his head with me. And then it just, I remember scoring on my first league game against Ross County. And I guess scoring gives you a bit of confidence. Then it just went on from there. And luckily, I've been able to carry that on last season. Haven't got off the mark this season quite yet, but hopefully I can get one soon.
You've touched on it already. Your relationship with Nicky Devlin and Bartley as well. How influential was that in terms of letting you settle into life up here?
Yeah, it helped knowing Nicky massively. Because Nicky's a big character anyway, so he was sort of quite. Okay, I remember I signed quite a lot, and so he was quite well thought of in the changing room already. And it always helps, when you walk in the changing room and you know someone, especially when you're really close with them, which I was with Nicky. But then, in fairness, it was changing room wise, it was unreal. Like there wasn't a bad person in our changing room. Everyone was so, like you said, people like Marv. I'd known of before I signed up there. Just big characters like that, but just everyone in the changing room was brilliant. Really easy to fit into. So they made it a really easy transition. Obviously, it's a big step with new leagues, moving country. My wife, my miss at the time, she wasn't there at the start, so it was just me sort of looking around places, but I had no idea where I was looking. So Nicky, in that sense, really helped me settle in really easily.
And I want to ask you about Lyndon Dykes as well. He's went on and done some incredible things.
Yeah.
How good was he when you were there to play with?
Yeah, he was, in terms of strikers, he's got to be right up there that I've played with, if not the best. He's just a defender's nightmare. I mean, I'd hate to play against him now. He's a handful. On his day, I think, well, you saw it. Every time we seem to play Celtic, he turns just unplayable. He's aggressive, strong, quick, good finisher, technically good as well. Genuinely had everything you'd want from a striker.
I was going to say that, I just had everything.
Yeah, literally, he didn't really have any negatives to his game. Like I said, a centre back nightmare to play against, and on his day, he was an absolute nightmare. Deserved his move down south, and I think he scored quite a few. Did quite well. He's playing for the national team now, so yeah, a brilliant player, Lyndon, great guy as well.
And I think you'll probably regret this. The cup final, the run to the cup final, obviously amazing to get there, but in terms of the cup final, it was just devastating for everyone involved there.
Yeah, obviously that semi-final game is probably the highest I've been in my career. Getting through to the final and then losing the finals, possibly the lowest I felt. It was gutting. Not only the result, just how we played. We never done ourselves justice on the day. Never got going, which is frustrating. I guess there's always got to be a loser from the final, but yeah, obviously we were so confident going into it. We were coming on. Well, we lost one or two before, but we were coming off the back of a really good run, so we were really confident. It was gutting, horrible feeling that there is a real low point in my career.
Maybe not the right word, but is that something that you do still regret, not being able to lift the cup?
Yeah, it is. Something it does pop into your head from time to time. Achieving that would have been something massive, something I never expected to do in my life. Even when I signed for Livy, I hadn't thought about winning one of the cups. It wasn't something I'd sort of aimed to do. To get that far and then to get to the final, like I said, losing sort of the way we did performance-wise, it was gutting.
We spoke about it a wee bit before we started actually recording, but in terms of being at Livy, you said earlier, we always find a result for somewhere. Is kind of having that underdog tag something you enjoy?
Yeah, it was. It was like I said to you off camera, Livy get a tough time for some reason. People kick off about the plastic pitch and all that, but so it was nice to sort of shut people up, really. A lot of people doubting us. I think both my years that I was there before the season started, we were favourites to go down. So that gives you that extra incentive to prove people wrong, and to go on and get 2 top 6 finishes was amazing for myself, amazing for the club. So it was brilliant. But I think being an underdog, it helped us. I think it helped the club. I think it suits the club being that way, proving people wrong, and they've been doing it for years now, and I'm sure they're going to do it for a long time now as well. And
what's your favourite moments that you look back on at Livingston?
I think my first season, the one against Celtic at home. I think it was the first time in the club's history I've beaten Celtic? I think it was.
I think something it was,
like that. So winning that game against Celtic on TV, and my first time playing against Celtic, and then to get the win, that definitely stood out. Like I said, the semi-final, winning the semi-final at Hampden was a massive deal. Felt really good winning that one. Those two are sort of the ones that stick out for me. They're the ones that I thought of straight away, to be honest.
And you still keep up with the games and the results?
Livies.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, they're probably the first team I check. Obviously, I've still got quite a lot of friends there, so I'll check up on them. Still speak to Nicky, Fitzy, Marvel, them guys still a lot. So definitely one of the first results I check on after. Always wanting them to do well. Obviously, a great result of the weekend, and got a nice easy one this weekend as well, haven't they?
No comment. The move to Northampton, what made you want to go back down south?
To be honest with you, it wasn't nothing to do with football really. I was up there. My wife, she's my wife now. We weren't married at the time, but she fell pregnant. We had some chats, and just we thought, obviously, all my family, Sarah's family, they're all back down south. So I thought the best thing would be is if we could get back down, we would try to do that. Just have a bit of support more than anything. So yeah, it was more just family life stuff off the pitch that was the main reason of wanted to leave. And I spoke to the club; they were brilliant with me. They understood it. Davey in particular was really good with me and sort of agreed that I'd be allowed to go back down and come back down. And luckily, I was able to.
I know it was personal reasons that you left, but when you were up here, like I used to always say to my pals, like, why is an Aberdeen or a Hibs or something like that never going in for you? Was there ever any interest like that?
No, not that I'd heard a few bits and bobs. This certain club like you, this certain club think you're good, but nothing in terms of clubs wanting to sign me. Obviously, I was still under contract, so teams would have had to pay money for me. Whether it was out of contract, anything like that would have changed, but I don't know. I don't think you see too many Livy players going on to sign. But I think once you're a Livy player, you get titled or that sort of thing. Obviously, you've had a few, but Forest, obviously, before I was there, you had Halkett, who both got good moves.
Yeah.
But no, nothing in terms of concrete offers or anything like that. There wasn't anything on the table for me now.
Just a bit surprised by that, because I always used to say it at the time, and it's just nothing. You never even really heard any rumours or anything.
No.
Going back down south, was that a bit of a shock for you to getting used to all the games again? How many games there are?
Yeah, it was sort of like I said, I've been playing down there for years, and then I sort of got used to the schedule being up in Scotland for a couple of years. So yeah, it was a bit of a shock again. Forgot how relentless it is down here. It's Saturday, Tuesday. You're constantly just playing games, recovering, which isn't a bad thing, I guess. I mean, every player likes playing games, but I'd say in terms of having an actual life, you get much more of an actual life up in Scotland, because obviously you don't play as many games. So yeah, it was a bit of a shock again, but something I knew what I was getting myself into. Obviously playing down here before, so and it is something I enjoy.
It was a brilliant first season for you as well, getting in the team of the year, and God knows how you missed out on promotion. That 7-0, how difficult was that to take for Bristol Rovers?
Yeah, it was horrible. Especially we had a really good start. We were 3-1 up at half time, sort of in that changing room at half time. We knew what their score was. I think it might have just been 2 or 3-0 to them at the time. So we basically said, look, lads, just win the game ourselves, focus on ourselves, and we should have it done. Obviously, what happened. We knew something was up from sort of the fans' second half. It was all a bit, they weren't chanting or singing for something must be going on. And then we've got the shout onto the pitch that we needed a goal. And it was all just a bit panicky and rushed from then on. But yeah, it was something, like I said to you earlier, something that I don't think we'll see again in our lifetimes, to have a swing like that. So yeah, definitely hurt for the following weeks after. Obviously, we had the playoffs then, which was, you're trying to get over it and focus on that. But it was, be lying if I said it was easy to do that. It was still tough. And then again, you're thinking it all summer, but then you come in for this season and you start again.
Was it difficult for the squad to refocus themselves for the playoffs, considering you probably thought if we win our game, we're going up?
Yeah, obviously we spoke as a group. We said, look, we've just got to forget about that, focus on the playoffs. But I think that's easier said than done when something like that happens the way it happened. So we tried our best. We gave it everything in the playoffs. I think that can happen in playoffs. It's a bit of anything can happen. So we gave it our best shot. We weren't quite good enough over the 2 legs. So yeah, from what was a brilliant season, I loved my first year here at Northampton. Went really well for me personally. Went really well for the team. Just that final ending didn't quite go to plan.
And on to this season, club captain, new contract. What made you want to extend your stay at the club?
Just well, mainly just the enjoyment I had the first year. I'm really settled. I'm back living from where I'm from. Me and my wife are really settled here. It's a really good club to be a part of, a really positive place to be. Obviously, we had a really good last year, so as soon as the club, sort of told me they wanted to extend it, it was a no-brainer to stay.
And what's the ambitions for this year? Automatic promotion or the title, surely?
Yeah, obviously everyone wants to go up as champions, but I'll take just getting promoted. Hopefully not through the playoffs. Don't want to have to experience that again. So yeah, no, definitely a club like Northampton. I think when you're in League Two, it's always the aim should be to get promoted. They've gone up to League One a few times and not been able to stay. Definitely take it step by step, but definitely promotion is the aim.
If it's all right with you, we'll finish off with the quick fire questions.
Yeah, I'm panicking about this.
I've warned you. Come on.
I know.
So start off with the easy one. Your best mate in football.
Best mate in football. I'll have to go. He was the best man at my wedding, so I'll be Billy Waters. He's a lad. He plays with Barrow now. So yeah, he was the best man at my wedding. There's a few. To be fair, I've got like a lot of close, like Nicky being one of them. I've got friends who I'm really close with, but if I didn't say Billy, I'd get annoyed, so I better say him.
The best stadium you've played in.
I'll go. Obviously, it was out of Ibrox and Celtic Park. For me personally, I preferred Celtic Park.
Best player you've played against.
Played against.
Been quite a few good ones up here, to be fair.
Yeah, there was. I'll go Jack Grealish though. Yeah, he was really good. I just can't get near him, can't get the ball off him. Uses his body so well. So I think I'll go for Grealish. Yeah, very good.
Who was he at when you played against him?
Villa.
Was it?
Yeah, very good player.
Your biggest achievement in football?
Biggest achievement? Ooh, good question. Not had a promotion. Not really done a lot. I'm thinking about it, scrambling here. No, to be honest, I think just like I think back. Go back to my debut. I think because coming from where I came from, I never really expected to do it. So just walking out for that first time was big. I think getting named in the team of the year last season was a really proud achievement. Probably best achievement football wise was probably that. So one of those two.
The biggest moaner that you've played with?
Biggest
I'm not feeling who you're going to say here.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm going to say. Marvin Bartley. God, so annoying. He still moans to me now, and I'm not even playing with him. Obviously Marv was brilliant player, really good captain, but loved the moan. Yeah, he was a nightmare.
And lastly, I've warned you about this.
Yeah.
Best five-a-side team of players you've played with and why? And I'm going to say you've got to put yourself in.
I have to put myself in?
Yeah.
Do I need a goalkeeper?
Yes.
Goalkeeper. I will go. Gosh, I nearly put. So Matty was very good up at Livy, Sarkic. But he was only there for half a season. But in terms of like goalkeeping, he was very. You could tell he was going to go. Obviously, he's at Wolves now. He had a couple of loans out in the Champions. He was very good. But I'll go with the keeper I was with last year. He was unbelievable. Liam Roberts. He was unbelievable. I was with him at Walsall as well, actually. But he come on so much from them. He was in the. He got named in the PFA team of the year. He got moved to Middlesbrough in the summer. Some of the saves he was producing for us last year. He kept us in so many games. He was unbelievable. So I'll go with Robert. So
him, then you.
Me, obviously, captain, best player of the team. Then, God, this is going to be tough. I will go. I've got to put Nicky in there. He'd be fuming if I didn't. And to be fair, he's actually, luckily for him, he's decent. A really good player, great captain, great in the dressing room as well. But yeah, just in terms of playing, he's so quick. Like his pace is just such a big asset for him. So aggressive, so quick, really good player. So I only get two players left.
Midfielder and a striker.
It's tough. I will go Nick Powell from Crewe. He got a move to United.
That's a good
he
show.
was- Yeah, he was unbelievable. He was only 17, 18 at the time. It was my first year up at Crewe with him. He was unbelievable. You know, probably the best player I've played with. He was so young at the time, but you could just see how good he was. Probably in my head should have not had the career. Obviously, he still had an amazing career, but for me, he was a Premiership player. So yeah, I'll go with Nick, and then striker.
You can't talk Dykes up that much.
He's the first name I'm trying to think of. No, I don't think you can. Yeah, I'll go Big Lyndon. Yeah, like I said, that year he was there. He was unbelievable. Won us games by himself. So I'll go with Big Lyndon up top.
It's a good side, that.
Yeah, does all right, doesn't it?
Perfect. Well, that was brilliant, mate. Thanks a lot for coming on. All the best
Not
for
a
this
problem.
season.
Not a problem. Thanks for speaking.